Hey ROTC, Rocky here. So I just kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit about blood glucose and carbohydrates, or as we know them, sugars, in our bloodstream. So have you guys ever gone through the day where you're just like all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I'm so sluggish, I am so tired. And then you're like, you crack open that, that energy drink so you can get that little bit of caffeine, or maybe you get like a sugary drink from the little coffee shop down the way. And you get like, at first you get this huge spike of like, oh yeah, okay, I got my energy back. And then you realize that maybe you like crash at the bottom of that and like you're super tired again. And then all you want to do is like either drink more caffeine or intake more sugary drinks. We've all done it. We all have it. So to kind of give you guys an example, what happens is our blood glucose, so it's the amount of glucose concentrate in our blood. So whenever we eat a meal, whenever we drink anything with calories, we get all that stuff and it gets digested and gets broken down and forms into forms of glucose. Well, glucose is in our bloodstream, and when we have high amounts of glucose in our bloodstream, our pancreas sends out this insulin. And so what it says is it triggers to all the muscles and all our liver and stuff and all of these tissues in our body to be like, hey, there's too much glucose in our blood system. It's going to trigger it to be like, okay, pull that stuff all into your cells. And so at first, when we have glucose like that, it gets pulled into our muscles, which gets stored as glycogen, which when you start to work out or maybe become more active, that's like the first response that your muscle is going to use in order to create energy so that it can perform what it's being asked of. And then the second is when all of those little chambers are all filled up, then it goes to our liver. And our body's got to do something with it. So it ends up saying like, well, let's store it as fat now. So it goes into our adipose tissue and it turns into fat. And then the only way we can get rid of that, because after it's made into fat, we can't turn it back into glucose and reuse it. So the only thing that we can do is a way of breaking down fatty acids, which turns it into ketones, which is just really hard on the liver to reuse it as glucose. It is possible, but it just takes a huge deficit in our calorie intake in order for our body to do that, and it's more of a survival mode, which we don't want to put that kind of stress on our body. So needless to say, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was, if you're going through your day and you're feeling these like little rough patches where you're just like, I have no energy, I need something a little bit, I need to pick me up, a little bit of sugar, maybe some fruit or something like that. This would be a great way to make yourself more aware of the foods that you're eating. So complex carbs, which are like potatoes, rice, whole grains, whole wheats, things that are not so simple. They have a longer molecule chain in the way that they're designed. Super depth information, don't really know it. All you need to know is it's more of a starchy vegetable that you're looking for a complex carb. Oatmeal is a great way, quinoa's a good way, potatoes, like I said. So this stuff takes a lot longer to digest as composed to the simple sugars, which would be like table sugar or something that you would find in some Coca-Cola drink, from the 7-Eleven or something like that. So because it is a longer chain, it takes longer for our body to digest it, and it gives us a steady supply of energy into our glucose, so that we don't get this huge spike in our glucose into our bloodstream, and then we oversend insulin, and then we get that crash again. We don't get that with complex carbs. So it's like a steady state of energy that we'll have, and we'll have it for a longer period, and you won't get that crash. So that's why I know that it's super important that, every meal that you have a little bit of that complex carb, whether it's sweet potatoes, rice, quinoa, oatmeal. It's going to help you sustain longer periods, and it's not going to get stored as fat unless you intake too much of it, obviously. So I just wanted to give you guys a little video about that. I hope you like it. I will be talking about how glucose is affected by proteins and fats as well. And we're talking about quality stuff versus non-quality. So yeah, if you guys have anything you want me to talk about, let me know, let Miranda know. I'll be talking about how to read food labels soon. And Yeah. If you guys have anything, let me know.